Decluttering advice is everywhere, but let's be honest. Some of it, it's genius, and some of it is just plain bad. I've sifted through the most popular decluttering strategies, tested and debated by real people out in real life, and I am going to be ranking them for you today. Some of these are going to absolutely change your life. Some of them are going to make you giggle and roll your eyes, and a few, well, let's just say they sound great in theory, but once you put them into practice, they fall apart in real life. Right now, your home might be feeling overwhelming, but I promise it's not you. It's your stuff. Too much of it. And I say this as someone who at one point had an entire kitchen drawer dedicated to mystery cords from devices I no longer owned. Decluttering isn't about perfection or achieving some sterile, minimalist dream, unless that's what you want. To me, it's about creating a home that feels good to be in. And you don't have to use all 11 of these strategies. Just pick one. It might be the thing that gets the ball rolling for you. So let's rank them from this is absolutely going to change your life to meh. But before we get into rankings, I want to know, what is your go-to decluttering rule? Or do you have a hack that actually works? Drop it in the comments down below, because none of us want to waste our time on something that is just not going to give us results. Okay, so here we go. I'm starting with the maybe box. I'm kicking it off with my personal favorite decluttering hack. I use it all the time because it removes the pressure from making final decisions right away. And for that reason, I give the maybe box a 10 out of 10. The maybe box is for things you think you might want to keep, but aren't quite sure. You put them in the box, you seal it, set a reminder for a set period of time, maybe 30 days, maybe 6 months, whatever works for you. And if you don't miss those items that are in the box, you let them go. It's a fantastic strategy for those of us who struggle with commitment and need a safety net. The second one is the would I buy it again method. I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. This one really makes you think. If you wouldn't spend your hard-earned money on an item today, why are you keeping it? It's especially great for kitchen gadgets and those just-in-case items. Once I realized I had 3 sets of measuring cups, but I only ever used one. So why was I keeping the others? Poof, gone. This works well for practical items, but sentimental things, maybe not as much. That's why number 3 is the sentimental item rule. I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10. This one suggests taking a photo of sentimental items instead of keeping them. And look, I get it, it might work for some things, but not for everything. Sentimental items are the most difficult thing to declutter, and I feel like a photo might work in some instances, but a photo of your grandmother's antique occasional table, is it really going to replace the table itself? Or is a digital picture of my kid's artwork any different than the crinkly, glitter-covered masterpiece itself? Not really. You might just be moving the clutter online. I think some things just need to stay, or you have to do the extremely hard work of letting them go. I'm ranking this one pretty low because it sounds logical, but it ignores the emotional weight of certain objects. Number 4 is the reverse hanger trick. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. This one is a great reality check for your closet. How it works is you turn all your hangers backwards, and as you wear things, you put them back the right way. And after a year, if anything is still backwards, it automatically gets donated. I've ranked it high because it forces you to see the clothes you actually wear versus the ones you think you wear. If you still need convincing, just remember, if you didn't wear it all year, you probably won't be wearing it next year either. Number 5 is the 2020 rule. This one is ranking pretty low for me. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. The idea behind this one is if you can replace something for under $20 in less than 20 minutes, let it go. Sounds reasonable, right? But let's be real. The $20 items aren't the things that people are struggling with when it comes to decluttering. It's not the $5 sunglasses that are causing emotional turmoil. It's the sentimental stuff. So while this works for the small household junk you might have accumulating, It's not a game changer for serious decluttering efforts. Number 6 is the container method. I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. This is a strategy that's all about boundaries. You get a designated space, a bin, a shelf, a drawer, and once it's full, that's it. No overflows, no extras. I like it because it forces intentionality. But let's be real, it requires serious discipline. We know how easy it is to justify just one more sweater, especially in March when you've been wearing nothing but sweaters for 5 months and you're sick of everything you own. Is it just me, or are you like that too? If you can stick to it though, it's a game changer. Just don't cheat and buy a bigger basket. Number 7 is decluttering in microbursts. I'm giving this one 10 out of 10. It tops the list. It tops the list because it's the ultimate trick for people who hate decluttering. This method works because it eliminates the mental barrier of a massive, overwhelming project. Set a timer for 10 minutes, open a drawer, and get to work. There's no need to block off the whole weekend. It's fast, it's satisfying, and honestly, I'm always shocked at how much I can clear out in such a short period of time. It's often the push I need to keep going. The idea of just one more drawer can be very motivating. And the bonus, you don't end up sitting on the floor surrounded by piles of stuff, questioning your life choices at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Number 8 is the flat surface rule. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. It's a bit logical. Flat surfaces are not storage spaces. Let's say it all together. I think I need this to be my new mantra. Can someone please embroider it on a pillow for me? This rule is ranked high because it's a simple shift that has a massive impact. If one thing lands on your counter, suddenly it opens up the floodgates and everything seems to pile up in that spot. It's just a slippery slope from, I'm just going to put my keys here, to why does my dining table look like a junk drawer exploded? Keeping surfaces clear makes a home feel instantly cleaner and more intentional. Plus, less clutter means less dusting. It's a win-win in my book. Number 9 is the 1 in, 1 out rule. I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. It's great in theory, but it's very tricky in practice. The idea is simple. For every new item that you're going to bring into your home, you remove one. It works wonders for basics like replacing worn out shoes or coats, but it gets much harder for things like books or decor pieces. I mean, are you really going to swap out an old candle holder every time you find a new one at HomeSense? Probably not. But still, if you can master it, the 1 in, 1 out rule prevents clutter before it even starts. Number 10 is stop shopping mindlessly. This is a 5 out of 10 for me. It's such a hard theory to keep practicing. We live in a world that practically forces consumption down our throats. Everything is so pretty and social media makes it even worse. I'm ranking this one really low because mindfulness means changing very deeply ingrained habits. But if you can master this, you win the decluttering game before it even starts. I'm personally working on this one. It's one of my top goals for this year, and I'm really focusing on progress here and not perfection. Number 11, our final strategy is the 1 year rule. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a classic rule. If you haven't used it in a year, you don't need it. It's solid for everyday clutter, clothes, kitchen gadgets, random cables. But I did dock points for this one because it falls apart with sentimental items. I mean, are you really tossing out your grandmother's vintage dishes because you haven't hosted a family dinner since Christmas? Maybe, but maybe not. Use this one wisely. As you can see, decluttering isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. You've got to really find what works for you. And maybe, just maybe, a maybe box is the answer to all your problems. I know it really works well for me. Okay, well, maybe not all of your problems, but at least your cluttered closets. Here's the thing. Once you declutter, how do you keep that clutter from creeping back in? Because that's the real challenge. I've got a list of 20 common things in your home that you absolutely do not need. Things you can declutter right now for an instant impact. Click here to watch that next, and let's keep the momentum going. I'll see you over there.